It's a time for tears. I love my tears. But if you'll notice, when I'm crying, I'm smiling. I've never smiled louder or cried deeper. And I've always been a big crier and a big smiler, as you know. And my attitude about life, I might have learned how to be a mensch or more of a mensch or more present, which I have. But this lust and love for life, I suspect it came from my daddy, who was every bit as a lover of life and my inspiration for being a householder yogi, if you know what that means. But I've always seen humor and seen something in everything, so much so that a probably psychotic girlfriend of mine, Alicia, in college, once said to me derisively, when I got excited about something new, "You can even get into a piece of shit." I said, "I call it scat." and yes, and now that I understand, and I've understood Torah, I understand that when the vessel, from the Ein Sof, from the energy of the initial Big Bang theory that we had long before the Big Bang theory, this vessel exploded because it couldn't take the energy and sent out shards, sparks. And the sparks with the most energy, let's say meteors, with the most energy, what are they going to do? They're going to get deeper when they hit the ground. They're going to hit in the grimy, dirty, smelly places, the smelliest places. So we are empowered, we are ordered to redeem and make holy those sparks. And talk about a piece of shit. We can do that. There are sparks there. And if we see everything as a spark, even that piece of shit, derive humor, derive love, derive a moment of connection with Hashem, wow, we've done it. And we've done it for each other. Because you can't do one of those things without doing it for all. You can't do it for Hashem without doing for your neighbor. You can't make love to someone without making love to the world. Right? Doesn't that follow when they say, if you take a life, you're killing the world. If you're saving one life, you're saving the world. Making love to one person, really making love, you're making love to the world. So I could be prouder of nothing more than to be able to transmit that attitude. And why I wanted to do this is because I have realized, why am I alive these last several months? Just to have an incredible time in Mexico at an all-inclusive resort? Oh my God, yes. But no. But it wasn't enough, you know? Was it enough to keep me alive going through chemo for that? It wasn't. It was because I realized that Hashem has given me this, God knows how I got it, attitude, to be able to maybe give you a shot at seeing what's possible if you don't already have it. That this is what's possible. And I didn't take my death sentence to be ecstatic. I was feeling like that for months before that. And years preceding that, if you all know me, my life was way high. And that's why there was the transition, oh, okay, I'm dying of cancer. No, Steph, you'll know I don't remember the day I was told that because I was in shock. But but it didn't jolt me off my center. And when it has, I've gotten back. So I know these things. And if I can be a model at all, that's why, the only reason I can imagine why it's made me worth being alone and being alive this long and having to go through this and being given this gift. Because, hey, how many people, my dear friend Reb Aryeh, my lover, my soulmate, he didn't have that chance. And the first thing that I look at is, I've kind of, he think me crazy, but I have an altar where I do my davening with his tefillin, they gave me, and his photographs. And, you didn't have that chance, man. I have this chance to have these months to really live and know damn well that I cannot afford to go out being a putz. I know I can't afford it. I know the time is short. I don't have that time for teshuvah necessarily. So the other first thing I did was I said, how is this going to change my life? And the first thing was I realized my relationship with life was ever changed last May when I was told. First thing I did is I just bought a new car to last me the next 10 years. So I bought a 7-year warranty, extended warranty. And I said, I don't like warranties that are going to outlive me. And I canceled that, basically. Then I remember going to some store and the guy telling me, probably Radio Shack, saying, hey, you get a lifetime warranty for just $295. And I said to them, you know, for me lasting a lifetime, you could be selling me a chiclet.
It's like green banana.
Yeah. What?
Don't buy green banana.
Don't buy green. That's exactly, kid. You got it. So basically, my life was buying in bulk. I didn't have a salary, so I bought in bulk. So by the way, guys can come to me afterwards. I do not know what to do with those last 300 tabs of Cialis. I have no idea. Talk to me later. I do have a bag up there. If you'll get it, Peter, please, my bag. Because what I realized was one of my favorite things is going to Costco and buying things in bulk. And I realized that from now on, if I wanted to insist on doing that, I would basically have to bring 2 lists, my shopping list and my will. So I mean, basically, here's my challah, but there's something else over there that came out, please, will you get it? Yeah. So, thanks. So I really want to do this with you guys. There's absolutely no way. There's no way that I can go through all these Scotch-Brites. So I didn't put you in my will, but take that. Here, Peter. Sue. Anybody else want who doesn't have? Okay.
Rabbi Joshua.
Where was Rabbi Joshua? Okay. Clean up your act is what they're trying to say, Reb.
Have your name and the date on stamp?
No, I will autograph all of these for a donation to the Havurah or the temple. Yeah. Or Rabbi Avi's congregation. Either way, I think he's still here. Is he here? Rabbi Avi's still here? You like that? You like stuff about the shards of light? You like that? Did I do good? Yeah? Okay, good. That might be the only Torah you're going to get, but that's okay. So you can leave now. It's all Torah. It's all Torah. So a couple of things. So I basically, as it got closer, and I knew this new diagnosis, this prognosis was going there, I got to tell you, I couldn't justify it anymore. So I started shopping at Buy Mart's, travel size section. And I always said to myself, the dentist said to me years ago, if you don't want to come back and do really heavy-duty shit on your teeth, another $7,000 because the dentist screwed up, I'd have to really floss every day, use these tools, take about 10, 15 minutes of, deal. And I always said to myself, boy, when I know I'm dying, I'm not flossing. So I held out till about 3 days ago. I finally said, fuck this. Take that. And actually, the reality is I'd run out of dental floss in Costco. And I wasn't going to get a single pack, and nobody would take it. And I stopped being, so tight with money. And I realized if I lived too long, if I lived 9 months, I figured I was out of luck. I didn't have enough money to pay my rent, and that was it. So God kept on taking business away from me at a perfect rate. And I kept on saying, Hashem, okay, so making that couple who was moving to Ashland to buy a home with me and coming in on January, them calling me and saying, we've been married for 25 years, but we're not moving to Ashland because we're not going to be married anymore next year. Oh, okay. So I guess I won't make that $10,000 commission. Hashem, what are you saying to me? I don't need to do that work? Okay. And I knew that. God's honest truth. I knew that. I knew that was it. More than the doctors, I knew when I lost that piece of business that was it. I was going soon because God would not. I've been so well taken care of. So when I gave up worrying about money, and I actually did, it came. I always had enough. God's made, who knows about earning anything, but I had enough. And now I have enough. Now I have enough I got cats. I was sitting in Dawn's house, Dawn, and her cats have always loved me. I used to always have cats. Instead, I chose women to live with me for the last several years. And we broke up, and I chose another woman, and the cat wasn't appropriate for that relationship. There were dogs involved or cats involved or something. So finally, I was sitting I can do this now. I can get a cat. She says, well, let's go to the pound. So now? Yeah. So right now, every week, I bless on Friday nights, Menashe and Ephraim, to be like the two brothers, to be like yourselves, I tell them. Because we bless our children or boys to be like Menashe and Ephraim. First two Jewish brothers to get along, and my guys get along. And I also realized something else. There were times that I realized I could play the cancer card. Excuse me, can I get in front of you online, please? I have only a few more weeks. And they never turn you down. Not once have I gotten turned down. I don't do it too often. But what does piss me off is going to Senior Sam's and not being able to get the senior discount. I honestly think if there's a political movement I'm going to lead is to get it changed so it isn't 65, it's whatever years you are, terminal 265. Thank you. You get credit for that. So let's do that. There's some things I'm happy I won't see. Windows 12. And it was funny. I guess it was a worry. My dad had Alzheimer's, and I was always worried about him. And I finally took this 23andMe test, and they sent me back and telling me what I was likely to get. And I went through this, unafraid now, right, to find out whether I was a candidate for Alzheimer's. And guess what? I have like a 1 in 4th less of a chance. I am not going to get Alzheimer's. Fuck that. I want it now. Maybe somebody else, let them not have it. Me, I needed it. Of course, you know what it said? It said I had a higher likelihood for this cancer I have. Because you know this stuff. It told me I had a higher chance of this cancer. And had I got that test made last year, holy cow. I don't know what that meant. So when I talked about stand-up, it was everybody asked you about the afterlife. Asked me about, and they try to convince me or send me books and about the whole cosmography of what the afterlife is about, the different levels, the different places, who you'll meet. And by the way, you all know that almost every description of people talking about the afterlife is they follow the light, they float above it, and they see these, welcoming. Okay. How many times, I want to ask everybody, how many times in the movies, in books, in TV shows have you seen that scene over the last 30, 40 years? That exact scene, done in how many movies, right? You're floating above, they're going to the light. What a surprise that when people are asked after near-death experiences, well, I was going to the light, I visualized that. Oh, do we not superimpose our memories from movies? Come on. Always. So I don't care or know what I'm doing there or that's going to happen. But I do know that I like the Muslim idea, at least your martyr, the 70 virgins, although I heard that was 70 grapes in the true translation. But nobody bothered to tell the guy strapping on the bombs, of course. Bad time to get the real translation, huh, guys? Well, let's do that. I'm going to have my 70 virgins. Abdul, it's grapes. But for me, truly, it wouldn't be 70 virgins that would get me very excited. That all-inclusive place in Mexico, that was close. But really, truly, 70 slices of New York pizza. 70 really good potato knishes, that are fresh, a little bit of onion, and they're a little crusty around. Oh, made in Queens. That's the big deal. I thought about this too, and this is pure shtick, but it was also funny, and I caught people talking to me and just having fun, because all I was doing was looking for shtick and trying to find and derive. Not that this is anything new for me, as Akiva will groan. But I mean, when people talk about me going to the gym and pumping iron, which I was doing, I think I still have a muscle or two here. So, like that? Yeah, we'll just cut that back here. Anybody have a pack of cigarettes? Okay. But basically, so you just don't talk to me about, picking up daisies, pushing up daisies. Oh, yeah, you pump. See, he blows it. The comedian just blows it. We edit that out? Can we do that again?
We can edit.
And it's funny, I had some people dressing up the room where my pool table was, and Stephanie actually it was, and she was going to make curtains for my pool table room, which is something. I got the cats. Okay, I'll quickly go back. Just rewind it about a minute and a half. So I got cats, and then I had this room. I wasn't going to have another woman live with me, so I chose a pool table. Don't jump to that obvious stuff, okay? Do not do that. Do not do that. I love pool. It meant my family. I grew up with my kids. We played pool with my son Noah for foot massages in Montana. So it was meaningful, and it was the deepest Torah I've ever had has been around the pool table. Deepest love, deepest gathering. And so I wanted to do that, and I did that. So anyway, Stephanie is putting in this, she walks in and she has this whole material ready to, hang from the rods I put up, and she says, "Alan, it's curtains for you." I said, "Stephanie."
I don't remember.
Not a good thing.
Peter, the rim shots.
Yeah, you gotta come on, get your act together, man. And I'm selling real estate. It was really okay for, my clients to talk about buying rural acreage. It's when they started saying, I'm looking to buy the farm. Which started getting me. Thank you. There we go. Come on, we're gonna have to do this all over. Can you guys come back in about an hour? And being on the checkout line is okay, but checking out isn't? Okay. Yeah. Swimming in the dolphins is fine. Swimming with the fishies is not. Cashing a check is okay. Cashing in your chips is not. Biting a good piece of a stale bagel, that's okay. Biting the dust is not. I told you have the groaning. There's some nausea medicine. Really, I'm serious. It's really good stuff. It's Haldol they gave me. All right, Haldol? Anybody know it? Any psychotics out there? Hey.
I don't know. Why did you look?
Hey, context is everything too. You talk about plagues and frogs, but it's okay about talking about frogs. Just don't talk about croaking. Well, hey, when it comes to Passover this year, think about that. It wasn't even worth a rim shot. Oh, shit, I should do my own rim shot. Yeah, thank you. And the word stiff, that's only for going to bed. Sorry about that. And basically, moving to Mexico to catch some rays is a good thing, but going to a better place is not. Returning the defective iPad to Apple is one thing. Sending it back to its maker is another. Attaching the electric cord is good. Pulling the plug is not.